There, I'm Christopher Dunnigan. This is HandmadeInVermont.com, and today we're talking about the Hubbardton Forge Portico Pendant. This is the 1380-940. Beautiful fixture. Let's get into details about it, and let's talk about the height of the fixture body itself. That's going to be independent of the rod that it's hanging from. It's basically that cagey part or that frame part with a little bit above it. So that's coming in at 12 inches. The width on this, left to right, is coming in at 42, and the depth on it is coming in at 19. When we talk about overall height, now we're talking about the distance from the bottom of the fixture to the actual ceiling itself. So we're talking about the whole thing, not just parts. Hubbardton's going to give you a chart to look at way down there in the corner. That chart's going to have all of the different overall heights you can attain, and it's going to show you which combinations of which pipes you're going to use to get to those overall heights that are listed there. So, and that's going to give you a range of anywhere from 18 inches overall height from the bottom of the fixture to the ceiling at its shortest, all the way to 60 at its longest. This is going to ship with 68 inches of wire. If you guys need this to be longer than 60 inches, drop me a quick email. Tell me what you're looking for. It's 84 inches, 150, doesn't matter. I'm going to take your email, send it through Hubbardton Forge's customs department. We do customs all the time like this, overall heights that are longer than the long, and adds a little time and money, but it's not a big deal. So don't be afraid to ask. It's always free to ask, right? It's coming in at 15.8 pounds. It's very light. Just hangs from a normal junction box, 4-inch J box. Canopy on this is going to be a 5-inch round canopy. And why don't we talk about pipes? So Hubbardton Forge has this system of interconnected locking pipes that basically have threading on the inside on each end. You're going to put them together with what are called connectors. And I want to show you a little bit more information about this. So we're going to go look at the installations instructions. If you're on the page for this on Handmade in Vermont, look way over on that side of the screen. Midway down is going to be a link. It's going to say click here for installations instructions PDF. So open that up for me. It's going to give you a full parts list. It's going to show you the socket setup. It's going to show you lots of technical drawings, including drawings of the inside of this canopy that a lot of people want to look at. So take advantage of that. So it's also going to show you, you're just going to kind of build this from the bottom up. So you're going to take your nice fluffy towels and put them on a table. You're going to put the fixture body, the part with the wires and the sockets, on that, and then you're going to put those wires through these little parts one by one. You're not going to put the whole thing together first. One by one, you're going to put them through, and then after you've done that, you're going to just screw them together just like this. Super fast and easy, really clean, barely even shows that there's a seam there. And then you can put your glass on and go finish it out. The canopy up in the ceiling, like I said, is a 5-inch round, and it's just going to go, here's your 4-inch junction box, hides nicely there. This is slope ceiling adaptable, already to 45 degrees. It has a knuckle at the top of this, just like your finger, that bends just like that. So you're already set up for up to 45, so you don't have to worry about that. Why don't we touch on finish for a second, because this is a two-tone fixture, or one-tone, depending on what you guys want to do. So the fixtures are always going to be the part that has the socket, and then the canopy and the pipes going up to the ceiling, and then the accent is going to be everything else, basically. That's how it works. So on this fixture, the middle part is going to be your fixture, and that's going to be the pull-down menu. It says choose your finish. So that's your sockets, that's the pipe going up, and that's canopy on the ceiling. The frame that's going to be going around all this, that is the accent, and that's going to be the second pull-down menu. So just remember that. You can do them in contrasting finishes, which is really pretty, or you can do the whole thing in one finish. So it's really up to you guys. You're going to have two choices on glass for this. One is going to be clear, and the other one is going to be Hubbardton Forge's opal glass, which is an opaque white glass, and we'll talk more about opal a little later in the video. So that kind of leads us to bulbs. So you've got medium base sockets in each of these, and you're going to have 6 of these to play with. Medium base sockets, just take a medium base bulb. That makes sense, doesn't it? And you're good to go there. So you'll notice it's gonna say the recommended bulb is what's called a CA10, and that's kind of like this little guy here. But you know, there's other bulbs you can use in this, and the glass that you're going to choose, I think, will influence some of that. So this is an LED version of a CA10. This is probably a 40-watt equivalent. If you guys want to go incandescent, you can go up to a 60-watt bulb, and this is actually an incandescent flame tip 60-watt bulb, so you could do that too. And you have 6, don't forget, 6 of them. So that's a lot of light. If you're going to go incandescent, you put the regular dimmer on it, and you don't necessarily have to go 60 in each of those. It's probably easier to find those flame tips in a 40-watt equivalent, and if you're doing the clear glass, I would probably kind of check these out, because I'm not sure which one is the more pretty bulb. You decide that. But if you're going to do the opaque glass, which is called opal, you're not going to be able to see the bulb, so it doesn't really matter. So you can do incandescent, you can do LEDs, you might even elect to do what this is. This is a T10 bulb. These are commonly used in exit signs, and this would kind of pull the filament higher up inside of the glass. And these usually max out at 60 watts for incandescent, 60 watt equivalent for LEDs, but they're fun to play with. If you have one of these lying around, you could try it out. These are also easy to get, like I said before. These will max out at 60 watt equivalent for LEDs. When we talk about LEDs, we talk about a couple things about them. You want to make sure yours are going to be dimmable. So when it doesn't matter if you're at the store or you're online looking, make sure it says dimmable on it, and make sure that your installer puts a dimmable LED dimmer on the wall, because you're going to use those. The other thing is the color of the light. So if we're looking at LEDs, we talk about the color of the light. It starts off at 2700K, which is 2700 Kelvin. That's that super, super yellow light, like a setting sun. Way over on the other side of that is called daylight, which sounds warm. It is not warm. That's a very cold blue-white light, like an outside on an overcast day, or like a hospital waiting room, that kind of thing. So that's going to be 4,000, 5,000 Kelvin on the Kelvin scale. In the middle of all that is what we like to use in our showroom called warm white, and that mimics an incandescent bulb we grew up with. That's that nice warmth that you see coming down on my hands. That's what's coming down here. These are LEDs. It's called 3,000 Kelvin or 3,000K. So a couple things, when you're out looking for bulbs on this, you could play around. These would probably be the easiest one to pick up at a hardware store, and the least expensive, I'd imagine. But if you're doing the clear glass, you might want to play around with the flame tip, because it's kind of cool to see through the clear glass. And make sure if you're doing an LED, make sure it's dimmable. My choice, 3,000 Kelvin. So I want to touch on Hubbardton Forge's glass for just a second. Hubbardton Forge's opal glass is not just another piece of white glass. This is actually hand-blown glass. All of their glass is hand-blown. And to begin with, it's actually a clear piece of glass to start with. And then they come in, they blow a second layer on the inside of white glass. Then they come back and they do a third step where they sandblast the entire outside. So you'll notice when you get these in your hands, they actually have layers of glass on them on the end. You can see them on these two pieces. And it gives it this really soft, semi-transparent, kind of milky quality. It's a soft glowing piece. Really, really pretty. You know, they're really obsessed about details at Hubbardton Forge, and a lot of people don't. I don't think they appreciate it out in the world, but you appreciate it because that's why you guys are here watching this video. There you go. Let's get into metal finishes now. If you're on our website, HandmadeInVermont.com, do me a favor, look over on the left-hand side of the screen. You're going to see a lot of red tabs over there. One is going to be the Finishes Help Guide. When you're done with this video, go over there and open that up for me, and you're going to see a video at the top of that page of me talking to you guys about the differences in Hubbardton Forge finishes and how they can look on different types of forging. I'm going to be referencing a color chart just below the video, so scroll down a little bit, you'll see that chart. You'll notice there are pictures that have the letter A on them, pictures that have the letter B on them, and I'm going to be talking about that range you can see in variance on there in that video. So it's really important to watch the video, use that chart. When you're done with all that, come back down to that chart. You can click on any of those pictures and see a lot more samples of Hubbardton Forge fixtures in that finish. If you want to see a bunch of stuff in dark smoke, click on dark smoke. If you want to see a bunch of stuff in vintage platinum, do the same, and so on and so on and so on. That's a great way for you to see a lot of Hubbardton Forge stuff in different finishes and really take advantage of that, okay? So our showroom in Vermont has over 350 Hubbardton Forge fixtures spread across 2 floors. We have a What's On display page on our website. It's going to be back in the red tabs over there. A lot of good things in that section. Check out. So when you open that up, you'll see it's all divided up into different sections like dining pendants and outdoor lighting. We're always adding to that. This is the biggest showroom in the world of Hubbardton Forge. They don't even have a showroom like this. Nobody does. And they use this as their showroom when you guys come to Vermont to visit us. So lots and lots to see here. You can see all the different glass, all the different finishes, all the different fabrics, all of those things. In addition to that, we have a clearance center. So the clearance center stuff are returns, discontinued things, and showroom samples. That's an amazing deal for you. If you guys want to take advantage of that, you have to come here to Vermont to see us. And when you do me a favor, measure all the kind of things about your project and what you guys are doing. So the most important thing is measure your ceiling heights to begin with. Measure distances between junction boxes and like windows and ceilings and those kind of things. So if you're looking at sconces on the wall, you can see if they're going to fit for you. If you're doing pendants over a kitchen island, measure the distances between those junction boxes. Widths of tables, kitchen tables, dining tables, lengths of tables. islands, all that good stuff. And also do a couple more things. If you guys have some tablets or iPads lying around, take pictures of all these things. Take pictures of the kitchen, take pictures of the projects you're doing. Bring that in so we can kind of go through those pictures together, and we'll be able to see what you guys are up to, okay? And also the boxes and clearance stuff, clearance stuff, are basically packed for shipping. Don't forget, these were supposedly shipped out. So the boxes tend to be on the bigger side, so bring a decent size SUV if you want to take stuff home. It's a really good opportunity for you. When you buy your Hubbardton Forge fixtures from HandmadeInVermont.com, shipping is free to every state except Alaska and Hawaii. There's no tax if we ship out of the state of Vermont. We're the only dealer that offers 90-day returns and no restocking fees. That's 3 months after you receive something to send it back, and there's no restocking fee on that. Some larger items and custom things, and it's usually going to be big things on pallets, are going to be non-returnable. It'll always tell you on the page for an item if that is the case, so always keep an eye out for that. And we also offer a rush program. So to get all these different metal finishes, Hubbardton Forge doesn't stock. They generally take about 3 to 4 weeks to get product out. We can cut that time in half, and it's really, really inexpensive. If you want to know more about that, just drop me a quick email and I can clue you in on details, okay? So our showroom in Vermont is open every day except Sunday from 11 to 6. I'm here every day except Sunday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Time. If you want to drop a quick email, you can do that all the time. And that's going to be at sales@HandmadeInVermont.com, and we spell out the word Vermont. Or you can call me during business hours, 802-446-2400. So thank you for stopping in today, and we'll talk to you guys soon. Take care. Bye-bye.